Israel has confirmed the return of 4 more hostage remains from Gaza as part of a ceasefire deal by U.S. President Donald Trump aimed at ending the 2-year war. The remains handed over via the Red Cross include Israeli citizens and a Nepalese student with forensic tests now underway to confirm causes of death. In exchange, Israel transferred the bodies of 45 Palestinians to Gaza, but families say closure remains out of reach as 20 hostages' bodies are still held. For more on this, I'm joined by our senior international correspondent and anchor, Afua Hagan. Afua, can you tell us what's the latest on the bodies of the hostages being returned from Gaza?
Well, as you so rightly said, 4 more hostages' bodies were returned yesterday, and we had the formal identification of 3 of those bodies. They've been named as Tamir Nimrodi, Eitan Levy and Uriel Baruch. They've been confirmed that their remains have been identified, and the 4th body remains unidentified at the moment. Forensics doing their work to figure out if it is in fact one of the bodies of the hostages. That means that there's 24 bodies that are still to be returned to families in Israel, and there's growing anger that 96 hours after this peace deal, this ceasefire deal was struck, that these bodies still haven't been returned. Remember, they were supposed to be returned by 10 a.m. UK time on Monday, and they still haven't been. This could be because Hamas don't know where all the bodies of these hostages are. They were giving out to other proxy groups. And remember that a lot of Gaza is under rubble at the moment. So I think there really is going to be a slow and very painful process of finding those bodies and bringing them back to the families in Israel.
So does this now mean that we're already into phase 2 of the ceasefire yet? And what is that looking like?
Well, it's a little bit complicated at the moment because, of course, the first phase was supposed to be the return of all the hostages, and that has not been completed. But what we are seeing is much more aid flowing into Gaza. So cooking gas, for instance, going in, lots more supplies and lots more food. A lot of places still without electricity and other amenities still without running water. But people are getting access to things like chicken and meat and cooking gas, like I said, that they haven't had for months and months. Aid agencies like UNICEF and the UN saying that they're able to scale the amount of food and the amount of resources that is getting into Gaza at the moment. The Rafah crossing was supposed to be open today. We did hear that earlier on this morning that crossing was going to be open. Now it isn't open today, so it isn't going to be open today. That didn't happen. So that shows that how volatile the situation is. I mean, yesterday you had the IDF that killed a number of people that said that broke the ceasefire. We also had Hamas fighters drawing out and killing people they said that were traitors to Hamas, and perhaps their leanings were towards Israel. So there still is pockets of violence at the moment, and like I said, the aid agencies are still trying to scale the amount of aid, the amount of food, supplies that are getting into the area, and of course reconnecting things like electricity and running water.
Okay, so before we let you go, Afua, Donald Trump has insisted that there's peace in the Middle East. Is this premature to declare?
I think it is premature to declare at this point that there is complete peace in the Middle East. Like I said, you still have these pockets of violence that have occurred. The IDF killing people that they said broke the ceasefire, and the underlying issue of statehood for Palestine still remains. And I think until that issue is resolved, you aren't going to have peace in this Gulf region. Remember, you still have proxies for other people in the region who will operate as well. We are only in phase 2 of the ceasefire. That is not a full declaration that war is over. Yes, President Trump can say that, but it doesn't necessarily make it true. There's still tensions that simmer in Lebanon, in Syria, and other places in that Gulf region. So yes, I think it is premature to say that there is peace in the Middle East, as Trump puts it.
All right, Afua Hagan, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed.